Hi everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the Dragon Diaries. As you know, in the Chinese zodiac, it is the year of the dragon. In particular, it is the year of the wood dragon. So I went in and did a bit of reading and research on some of the attributes of the wood dragon. And we started off last month. I'm going to do one reading per month on it. Last month we used optimism. This month we're using flexibility. Okay, and where that can show up and in what situations it may show up in your life. So we have 3 piles here for you to choose from. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. This is the Unakite crystal. This is strawberry quartz crystal, and this is picture Jasper crystal. So whatever pile number 1, 2, 3 or crystal calls to you is the pile you're meant to go to. If more than one calls, by all means, you can watch 1, 2, or all 3. It's totally up to you, but I will see you in the reading. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1 or this Unakite heart crystal. We are going to get right into your reading. If you watched episode 1, I'm calling it, which was about optimism, you'll know I asked specific questions. I'm asking those questions again, but this time we're talking about flexibility. So let's get right into this. I already have the piles created here with the tarot and the oracle. We'll be doing more tarot and oracle at the end, as well as flipping one of these fortune cookie oracle cards over for each pile. So let's go pile 1. First question out is, in what area of your life can you be more flexible or have more flexibility? And we have this card, Bliss, cherishing the day. Okay. With the 2 of Swords. I like that. What I'm feeling right now, pile 1, is maybe you have to have more flexibility in your day to day. And what they're showing me is, you know, when you kind of get up in the morning and you have that, this is going to be a great day. This is going, you know what? There's absolutely nothing that can stand in my way. I've taken care of everything. And you know what? There will be no interruptions, kind of thing. And then your day starts. You get out of bed and it seems to be going good. And then it feels like it's just going to be one thing. Or for some of you, it will be one thing after another. And you're like, this is not what I planned. This is not what I had. This is not what I had expected for today. And for some of us, or some of you, right? It can throw your entire day off. And instead of being grateful for what did go right that day, we're ungrateful about everything that went wrong that day. And I think it also can keep you from doing other things throughout the day that you had planned to do, because now you just, you know what, your back is up, you are, you know, PO'd, and you are rigid and stiff. There's no bending, there's no flexibility there. So the message is, and that's an example. For some of you, that may actually be the situation, right? But for the majority of you, that is going to be an example. There's always going to be 2 paths that we can take in the run of a day, 2 decisions that we can make. We can either be grateful and flexible, or ungrateful and inflexible, okay? So just because it's cherishing the day, I feel like it has to do somehow with gratitude. But again, if we allow the least little thing to throw us off, that is not being flexible. And look, we as humans here on earth, we need to have flexibility, guys. Like, without flexibility, things can get pretty tight, pretty wound tight, I'm going to say, or rather we can as humans. So let's move on to the second question that I had, which is, what could be blocking you from flexibility or being more flexible. May tie into the other cards that we're going to pull. It may end up that it just is a standalone message. Now, as you know, for those of you who watch any of the dragon energy readings I've done in the past, or the last episode 1 here, you will know that for some of the cards I read. So this is what could be blocking you from being more flexible. And it's home with the Knight of Wands card. Okay. So I'm just going to grab my book here and we're going to read what Home Dragon has to say. And you know how I feel about the messages in these books. They're just awesome. Okay, so the message here is, what does home mean to you? Have you already found yours? The coral dragon of happiness folds its wings around you lovingly, whispering softly in your ear. It does not matter where you live. Your home is where your companions are, those who think like you, live like you, and love the same things as you. Listen to the words of this beautiful female dragon. She is very wise and loves you very much. You drew this card because your home is an unresolved energy for you. Perhaps you are still searching for it or have made a mistake in your choice. And what you call home is not really where you belong. Think about this. Can you make a place of love in your home wherever it is that you are? Okay, that is the main message. So, if for some of you, maybe it's more flexible when it comes to that. And you know what? I can actually personally relate to that because for many years when I lived in different apartments, I always felt as though, I always think I kept telling myself, well, once I get settled, once we have a house, once I'm settled, then it will be different. And you know what? We eventually did. And it wasn't any different. So I think that it's a lot of wasted energy, really, when I look back on it now, having experienced that, of not being truly content where I am. So they want you to be more flexible with that. Be more like the Knight of Wands here, right? Who loves to charge full steam ahead, right? He's inspired and passionate about whatever it is he does or wherever it is that he is going. He thinks of it as a new adventure. And maybe for some of you, that is the message coming in here for flexibility. You need to treat it like an adventure, like you're I don't know, going off on some sort of wild adventure in this new place, wherever it is that you call home, whether it be like physical location, the type of home it is, who it is you live with, or how you make it work. Just being a bit more flexible there, because right now, putting that wall up of, well, this isn't really where I'm supposed to be when I get there. You know, that holds us back from a lot of stuff in our life, that very sentence. Well, when I get there, or when I get older, that type of thing. So I feel like that is definitely blocking you in your life. And that's why this message has come through for you. Now, let's move on to who should you be more open and flexible with in your life. And we have communication with the Devil. Ooh. Here's what I want to say about this. Communication, I would either, when I look at numbers, I either, to make it into one digit, I would either go up to a 5, which would be change, right? Any kind of change, any kind of challenges. We have the Devil here, so it may be challenge. But I also would take it to a 3, so I would either go with a 3 or a 5. We have communication, which is a 3. And in the 3, the third house, which is about communication, if I didn't say that already, it's people in your extended family or your siblings or your community or immediate surroundings. So maybe your neighbors, all right? So those would be the people that you should be more open and flexible with in your life. Now, it will be different for each one of you, whether it's extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, whether it's grandparents fall into that category as well. Maybe for some of you, it's your neighbors or your brothers or sisters, okay? But there needs to be more honest and open. And I'm saying honest because we have the devil here. And we know that that devil energy likes to manipulate and control. Okay, so that's why I'm saying honest. I feel like there needs to be honest, without attachment or agenda type of conversation with, depending on who you are and what your situation is, any number of those people in your life, okay? Having the flexibility, maybe even to not just, communication is two ways. You speak, you listen. So maybe there needs to be a little more flexibility where you're not all talk and you're a little more listening, okay? Or you don't just listen, you actually truthfully communicate back with them. But again, without attachment, without any agenda. Okay, I'm loving this message for you, Pile 1. And what the dragon energy, the wood dragon is bringing through for you. Now, last we have what specific event or situation in your life is going to call for more flexibility from you or flexibility in the situation. And we have a luminaire. This card has come out over time quite often. I never remember what it is. It's why I go. It's these two decks that I always go to the book for, because there's an interesting message. And the Five of Pentacles. So let's see what a luminaire has to say. If you have picked a luminaire today, hear his message. Illuminate what can't be seen, that which is hidden within you. Your truth needs to be seen and shared. You cannot hide behind your masks forever. Your shields of false protection don't serve you. Only truth has integrity and can stand the test of time. A luminaire is the first dragon who holds angelic as well as dragon energy, and that angel is Archangel Uriel, who is the angel of wisdom and shines the light of God's truth into darkness or confusion, okay? So that's very interesting. What he says here in the rest of the message is, spiritual warriors of earth. Collectively, we can change the world, although humankind is not yet ready for all of us in all our might. You and others like you are preparing the way, anchoring the light into the planet. Are you ready to continue your amazing journey of empowerment? Do not fear the illumination. Truth is a liberating and powerful ally. Your fears lie with change, but open your heart and welcome to your core, allowing the light to guide you forward. So there is going to be a situation or event or an energy coming in and around you that is possibly going to have you wanting to hide away, wanting to maybe keep something in the dark, not wanting it to come to the forefront, out into the light, not wanting to maybe tell the truth. For you, it will all be different. For some of you, you're not going to want to tell the truth to save face. For others, it may be that you won't want to tell the truth because you don't want to hurt anyone. All right, with the truth. But there is a feeling of lack around this, or a feeling of, I don't know, there's a feeling of something wanting to be hidden. And they're saying, no, you need to be flexible here. You need to understand that what is good for you or in this situation it's not only about you, it also has to be about the other or others, right? And you have to be flexible in this. You can't keep whatever this is hidden out of the light because it maybe benefits you in some way. I feel like it's tying back to here with this communication. So maybe it does tie back to whatever this is the event or situation going on in your life. Maybe it is going on already. If not, it's something that may come up for you. But I feel like with the lack feeling, it's almost for the majority of you, you're wanting to save face in some way because it's not going to show you maybe in a good light. But with Archangel Uriel and a Luminaire here, they're both saying the truth needs to come forward. It needs to be in the light. It's always good to shine the light of God's truth into darkness or confusion, right? So love that message for you there, pile one. And if you don't believe in God, it could be source, universe, or whomever it is that you go to for your higher power, okay? But now let's look at a few more tarot cards. Okay, pile one. What we want here is just any clarification or confirmation of what is already on the table here for the cards, or additional advice or guidance before we get into the oracles at the very end. So the other thing I want to say, and I've just been called to, I started this yesterday and I'm going to continue. Look up Unakite. It's healing properties and what it actually has for meaning of the stone that may be helpful to you in these different situations that you may be facing when it comes to being flexible or having flexibility in them. I also want to say here in this situation, being flexible also could have to do with, I feel kind of like this might be more than one person. So it might be you being flexible and able to see the other side of something as well. Okay, so let's get into this. And like I said, these all may resonate with you. Maybe only one or two will. If you want to check out the other piles, you can do that as well. We have the Nine of Swords. Okay, I'm just going to wait and do these ones together. The Hierophant. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, so with that Nine of Swords, look. Some of these situations here, whether it's about the home, whether it's about being able to get past the anxiety when your day isn't just going the way it's supposed to, the communication that you need to have with someone in the situation. I feel like these two are tied together in some way, and that may be for some of you, not all of you. But this is just saying it's okay. You're feeling a bit of anxiety. That is normal. But what you can't do, the message coming in, is allow that anxiety to take over. For some of you, that will be very easy to not allow it to take over. For others of you, it will be something that you will need to work on. But maybe what you can do here with the Hierophant, I always like to think of as the teacher and the student, okay? I like to think that somehow there may be someone who is going to be able to help you through some of this, or someone that you can go to for good, sound advice. If there is, or if someone offers it, be flexible enough to listen. Okay, and maybe that communication card has come in for this, or this card came in for the communication. Being flexible enough to listen to someone else. They may actually be trying to help you. All right. And with the Ace of Wands, look, this is a new start, okay? This is a new start. If you're able to work on these different areas If you're able to be more flexible, you could very well have a new start with new opportunities, whether it be with the relationships, with the situation, with the home, with yourself, okay? It can be a new opportunity to start again. And with the Ace of Wands, it's always about, with the wands, inspiration. And how can I grow from this? What potential could come? What potential outcome could there be if I, I almost want to say like work the steps, so to speak. All right, let me get a couple of oracle cards for you here, pile one, before I go. Oh, this one flipped over. So, it is easy to love and accept the light side of yourself. Oh, wow. It takes courage to acknowledge and love the darker side. There's that devil energy, the darker side sometimes, right? We all have it. It's not just you, pile one. Now, I'm also going to grab here the top card for pile one, which is wisdom. The focus on the past is to lose the future. Wow. Love it. We were talking about that here with home. To focus on the past or even the present and what it is that you're not liking or feeling comfortable about, you lose the future. Heed advice from an older person, which will allow you to move on. I said you may have someone. I said like the teacher and the students. So there, confirming that. Pile one, love this message for you. Some of this will be hard work to work through, but that's okay. Not everything is easy. Just take a few deep breaths and push through. I wish you all the best, pile one, and I will see you in your next reading. Hi to those of you who chose pile two or this strawberry quartz heart crystal. I'm just going to move this over here. We are going to get right into your reading. Like I said, we're talking about flexibility, pile two. I have tarot and oracle here. I am going to be doing live tarot and oracle at the end as well. We're going to be looking at different questions. So let's get right into this. Oh, and something else I want to mention to you right at the beginning. This strawberry quartz, you may want to look up the healing properties or the meaning of quartz because it may somehow tie into this reading, okay? So let's get started. First question out is, in what area of your life can you be more flexible or have more flexibility? Grief, accepting loss. With the Two of Wands. Okay. All right, pile two. For some of you, it can be literal here. There's going to be different messages with this. It can be literal. You may have lost a loved one or someone important or special to you recently, and it's kind of stopped everything, okay? I feel like it stopped you from going out. It stopped you from doing anything. It stopped you from participating. It stopped you from planning anything new in your life. And that's understandable. But we are talking about where you can be or have more flexibility. And this is Spirit coming in to say, and I want to say this because I think I've had a card like this in another reading recently. We have to go through the grief process, but they don't want you to stay in it forever. So eventually, little by little, think of an elastic band. You can stretch it a little or you can stretch it a lot. They're showing me just a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of stretch, one day at a time when you are ready to start going out and planning again in your life. That is a message for some of you. For others, this can be accepting loss in many different ways. Loss of a job, loss of a home, loss of some finances maybe. I want to say with investment. Anything that you can lose. Maybe for some of you, it could be a wedding band, a wedding ring. I don't know, but I feel like it's something that's of importance, like great importance. It's not like losing your keys or even your phone. It's not that type of thing. But again, I feel like what it's done is it's put you into that. It is like a state of grief, different than losing a loved one or someone important to you in your life. But it still kind of puts you, it kind of stops you in your tracks and keeps you from being flexible and being able to move forward. But they want you to be able to bend, to walk, to move, to be flexible, to move forward. Okay, so that's what they're asking you here. In what area do you need more flexibility? It's around grief and loss. Okay, pile 2. Let's look at what could be blocking you from being flexible. Okay, could tie into this. These may be messages on their own. We never know until I get the cards out. We have Avalon. Oh, nice. I'm actually watching that. I'm going to say it's a series Merlin from, I want to say like 2010-ish or something. I'm just watching it now and I love it. And 10 of Cups. Okay, as you know, or if you don't, if you're new, there are 2 dragon cards that I always read from the book because I love their messages, and this is one of those times. So we have Avalon. If you draw this card, a powerful magical energy wants to rise within you. The moon dragon is awakening the priestess or the sorcerer within you and will travel with you to Avalon, the Isle of Apple Trees. They want to take you to the dragon world of your ancestors, allowing it to lead the way. They want you to look, I'm just going to paraphrase because this is a long one. They want you to look, maybe where you need to be more flexible is, in this case, I'm just going to say right off the hop here, this is kind of the mystical and the magical, and maybe being a bit more flexible in your beliefs or attitude towards it, because it seems really important here that they want you to know that you have a long line of your ancestors who were witches and sorcerers and priests and priestesses and shamans, etc., healers, okay? And they want you to know that you once did this too in past lives, and you helped those who needed you. Yes, okay. That is what this is. This is like traveling through space and time, meeting up with your ancestors, realizing who it is. And we're talking spiritually here, in a metaphysical or in a, whether you use divination to do that, or you go to someone to help you do that, or if you can do it on your own. But they want you to connect to your ancestors, all right? They want you to know that they were the mystical and magical. So maybe you've always had an inkling that you maybe had a gift of some sort as well, but you've maybe denied it, or you had it as a child and you've blocked it, okay? But they want you to become flexible in your life. You can be, as I know, your regular old self. And some people would say, no, you can't. But I believe we have many different facets of us. I believe we can be our regular old self, and I believe we can be our mystical and magical self. Do they blend? Absolutely. But they do blend, but they are still kind of separate. And some people, you know what, you believe what you want to believe. Some people will say, well, no, you are who you are. And others will say, no, I get that. It's kind of, and I'll tell you why. Because, for example, I do mediumship work. I don't run around outside doing my groceries and shopping and everything else, contrary to what TV would have you believe, in mediumship mode. I don't. That is what I do as a job. It's also what I do to help the collective. And when I am out on my own doing grocery shopping or running errands, that's me out living my life doing errands and grocery shopping, right? So I would just want to say to you, if you are very rigid about this, maybe a bit of flexibility, just bending a little bit at a time. I feel the message is here for you, pile 2, in that. Just a little bit of bend at a time. You don't need to bend right over backwards here or right down and, touching your toes. Just a little bit of bend is better than no bend at all. And with the 10 of Cups here, I think you would be quite emotionally fulfilled if you were able to be a little more flexible in your belief and acceptance that this could possibly be you and your long line of people. Okay, that is the message. Now, let's move on to who should you be more open and flexible with in your life. We have Truth. And we have the Knight of Cups. As I mentioned in pile 1, when I look at this, it's a 51. That number could be important to you. But I also, to reduce it to one number, I would either go with 6 or I would go with 4. And Knight of Cups here is the knight that can be very romantic and charming. So we think of him as the love knight, wanting to fill someone else's cup, right? The knight who's romantic, the knight who, delivers love messages or messages of the heart. And we have Truth. So who do you need to be more open and flexible with in your life? It's going to be the people that you love, I want to say the most, or that you love unconditionally. But just because we love someone unconditionally doesn't mean that we're not flexible in dealing with them. And I feel like, again, we've got the Truth card here. Is there a truth that needs to be spoken? Are you able to bend that bit and maybe speak the truth that needs to be spoken? With the 6, it's about having harmony and success and good communication, truthful communication. And because we're talking about the people that you love, so the people closest to you, when it was a 4, that's the 4th house, which is all about your home, your family, your ancestry, okay? This seems to be a very direct message to you, pile 2, right? This is about nurturing and loving other people and making them feel safe and secure and being truthful with them. But I really feel like the people that you need to be more open and flexible with are the people in your home, the people in your family, or like I said, the people that you love unconditionally that are the closest to you. This will make sense. If this is resonating with you, it's your message, okay? You don't need to try to make it fit. But if there's truth that needs to be spoken somewhere that's a large group, so it'll be different for each of you, but that is something that you need to be more flexible and maybe work on a bit. Okay, let's look at what specific event or situation in your life is going to call for you to be more flexible. We have Crystal the Dragon here, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. I also read out of the book for Crystal the Dragon, okay? So this beautiful and peaceful dragon's main role as a galactic dragon is to support all indigo and crystal children who have special and unusual abilities and traits. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited. I want to do that on the table. Okay, remember we said up here, you come from a long line of healers, witches, sorcerers, if that's what you want to call them, priests, priestesses, okay? Warlocks. Wow. Okay. But she's here to support. Maybe we have more answer here. The indigo and crystal children with their special and unusual abilities and traits. Adults and those on the autistic spectrum. She is, in fact, named after the crystal children. She fully understands the complexities that can accompany these children and adults. So she is here to support them and their families as much as possible. She wants you to explore your richness of talent in whatever area works for you. So if it's numbers, sports, art, music, poetry, anything that allows the mind to unleash and creatively flow. She understands that the classroom, with its restraints and rules of quiet and concentration, often does not work for these naturally inquisitive artistic souls. So she has come into your reading today. Have you become too rigid in your thinking, expectations, or outlook on life? Let me guide you in flowing with the rhythm of your life. That's being flexible, right? And loosen any feelings of tension from your body. Allow your mind to daydream. Let it explore new possibilities. Find creative pursuits and free your soul. Learn to follow the ebb and flow of the tide of your existence here on earth. Struggle and resistance do not serve you. They simply frustrate and vex you. Okay, so I love this message because that clearly, this is why I read these two from the book. This has come out for you for a reason. And if it's not even you, I want to say, it may be your child or your sibling or someone you know. I feel there's truth that needs to be spoken. Wow, I feel this is all tying together here, pile two. But the situation is maybe being flexible again enough to say, I am a crystal child, or I am an indigo child, or being flexible enough, if this is someone in your life, to allow them that freedom of expression and creativity, not trying to hold them back or fit them into a mold that they don't fit into. I feel like that's the event or situation or energy that's around. This Queen of Pentacles energy is very practical and stable and grounded. She can also be thought of as a working parent if that resonates with you. But she is, like I would call the male counterpart here, or even a knight or the king, the steady Eddie. I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, for some of you, I'm feeling, and I keep wanting to go back to, this is someone, it may not be you directly, but someone in your family or someone that you know. And somehow it's calling on flexibility from you. How that works, if it's flexibility of talking to a family member about this, I'm not sure exactly. This is going to be different for everyone. I mean, in some cases, this is going to be you. You are the crystal or the indigo child. You are from a long line of healers here, okay? And the mystics and the magicians. But for some of you, I feel strongly that it's someone that you know. And I feel like you just know how to talk to, maybe if it's your, like, say, for example, it was your sibling's child. You know how to be flexible and speak to them about this to help in some way, so that this child or even adult now is given the freedom to express the way they need to express. All right, I'm going to just leave it there. Now, let's get into some more tarot here for confirmation, clarification of what's on the table here, of further advice or guidance. Wow, this is a very powerful message, I feel, in different ways. Like I said, it may all resonate, maybe only one or two will. You may even want to check out the different piles, but see what that strawberry quartz has to say as well. We have justice. It's about bringing the balance. Okay, here it's finding the balance, how to grieve, but yet move forward even at the same time, how to be flexible and balanced with those that you love, how to be flexible and balanced, or balanced with helping the indigo and crystal children. And if you are one yourself, to find that balance in your life. All right. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Four of Wands. I love these cards for you again. The Four of Wands is also a balance card for me because it feels on the card just very balanced, right? It doesn't feel like it's lopsided or I don't know. It's the way I always see that card, but also it is a celebration. It is a card of success. It is being passionate and creative and going after what it is that you need to go after and being successful and happy because of it. It is having made that plan with the 2, going out and doing it with the 3, and then having success with the 4. I love that message for you. That's definitely confirming. And then we have the Ace of Wands. New beginning. This is going to be a new inspired opportunity. It's going to be new growth in some way. It's just going to have potential in whatever way you're looking at this. It's newness. That's what this ace is. And I feel by working on these areas of being flexible or having more flexibility will feel like a new, impassioned, I don't know, inspired start for you. So I love this for you, pile 2. Wow. Oh, well, that one just came out right there. Don't be imprisoned by your past. Create a brand new you. Hold that vision. And if we know one thing about the wands, they are the big picture seers, right? The big picture, the grand big picture thinkers, grand ideas. So you are good at holding vision. Don't be imprisoned by your past. Create a brand new you. I love that. I love how it ties in. I also just want to grab here this card. It's commitment. Commit to what it is that you want to do as well. But it says, a commitment is indicated around love or business. It will make you feel better. So we were talking a bit down here about loved ones. I feel everywhere, really. So whether it's your ancestors, someone you've lost, again, your family, your ancestors, your family here. A commitment, I think a flexibility is indicated, or it could be something else for you around love or again, business, but it's going to make you feel better. Pile 2, that is your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Hi to those of you who chose pile 3 or this picture Jasper heart crystal. Okay, this is going to be your reading from the wood dragon energy of flexibility. Okay, that's one of their characteristics, rather one of their attributes. So we're going to be going through tarot and oracle here. The other thing that I wanted to mention as well, look up the healing properties or what the picture Jasper crystal means, because it could tie into this reading from you or just be an additional reading. You can just Google it, okay? And it may be a crystal, if you don't have it, that you may want to get or carry on you. We're going to be doing live tarot and oracle at the end as well. So, pile 3. In what area of your life can you be more flexible or have more flexibility? Legacy. Persistence. With the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. So the thing about legacy, we have 8, I think of 8th house. Legacy reminds me of the 8th house because that's where we're talking about like other people's money. So it can be things like joint finances or inheritance. That's when I saw legacy, I thought of inheritance, right? And 8th house. So I don't know for some of you if this is, there are going to be different situations here. Are you having to be more flexible when it comes to other people and their input? So say, for example, if you were married, but this does not have to be your situation, and you're talking about your legacy, what it is you want to leave for your family, if you have a business even, or if it's just money, that's saving the money, buying the house, not selling the house yet. I want to sell it so my kids will have it for their inheritance, that sort of thing. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more flexibility about the planning of that, possibly. Okay, because we have other people here involved, okay, with this Three of Pentacles. I feel like this is something that you're serious about, that you want the right answers for. But I don't know if in this case you are actually listening, or if you've even gone to someone for professional advice about it, okay? So that could be where the flexibility comes in, just understanding, you know what, I need to talk to someone about this. I don't want to try to just do it on my own. And by doing that, you may find yourself working together with the people that are also involved. For others of you, this could be about receiving your family's legacy, receiving your family's inheritance. And maybe there's a bit of conflict with other people. That does generally happen when it comes to families and inheritance and what's left in the will type of thing. Maybe some of you are not necessarily being flexible with the other people that may be involved with you, or they're not being flexible with you, which requires you to have more flexibility and maybe bend in a different way that you hadn't planned, okay? It's something like that. But I do feel it is somehow tied in and around, and it may not be inheritance for some of you. It can be other things, but it does, I feel, tie into you, other people, and money in some way. And it's your money, but not just yours, okay? So whatever area that is for you in your life, then there needs to be a little bit of flexibility there. And I feel like it will be on your part in order for the smoothest, best outcome, because maybe the people that you are dealing with aren't going to be the flexible ones. And I know, pile 3, sometimes it sucks to be the person who has to do the bending, but for peace and tranquility and calm and balance in your life, without giving too much away, you may be the one who has to bend. That's the message, okay? So, and like I said, it may not be about actual, like a will inheritance. It could be in some other way, but it's something about other people's money, some of your money, and just maybe not conflict necessarily, but just, yeah, something's not working out with other people that's requiring flexibility on your part. I'll leave it there. Let's go to question 2. What could be blocking you from flexibility? It could tie into this. It could be something totally separate. We have Mirror Dragon, and we have the Ace of Swords. I normally read from the book. I'm going to open it up, but I had a message come in there, and I feel like that is definitely it. But let's see. Okay. You see yourself wherever you look, in the gestures or words of others. Everything that touches you emotionally is bound up with you. You are a part of it. You have probably been told this a million times, so why do you believe it to be true only when someone is unpleasant to you, when you adopt a negative stance? Do you also look in the mirror when another person shows love, beauty, or truth? Does that touch you emotionally? It is the same mirror, and you are part of it too. The mirror of this world was created for you, created to lead you to mastery. Respect it and be grateful for it. Wow. Okay. So kind of what had popped in, which is, I feel it kind of ties in again. It can be a separate message for some of you, pile 3. But this, I feel, inflexible situation over here is like 2 people mirroring one another, or 3, or however many it is. And you're both looking at one another and neither one wants to bend. And that's why I think it came in as, you don't need to lose because of this, but you may be the one that has to bend slightly in a direction that you didn't plan to go. And with the Ace of Swords, I feel like understanding that will keep you from being blocked from this being straightened out, okay? Or whatever situation it is in your life, all right? If it doesn't resonate with you as part of the situation over here, it could be about something else. And I feel like it's two people mirroring one another. I'm ignoring you, you're ignoring me. I'm being mean to you, you're being mean to me. Instead of, I'm going to be kind and loving and truthful with you, and in turn you be kind and loving and truthful and compassionate and caring to me, right? This is almost like a battle of wits. With the swords here, I'm just going to say, like, it's like a battle of the brain, a battle of the intellect. It's all up. You're both up in your heads, right? But it's blocking you from moving forward. And that's the whole point of this. They want you to have the new beginning. That's why this Ace of Swords is here. They want you to have mental clarity about this situation. They want you to be the smart one, the intellectual one here. They want you to maybe, instead of mirroring, they want you to step sideways or step up or back and break the gaze almost. They want you to have a new start after whatever this situation could be. But this mirroring and battle of the intellect is not being flexible. It's actually blocking you. The inflexibility is actually blocking you from moving forward with a new start here with the Ace of Swords, right? It's blocking you from any new ideas or any new ways of doing things that you may have wanted to, the path you want it to go down. It's going to block you from that. So keep that in mind. Let's move to the next set here. We have, who should you be more open and flexible with in your life? And we have burden and 10 of Swords. Well, I think of the 10 of Swords as a burden. Actually, in some cases, you know, you've been carrying those swords around for some, you know, they've backstabbed you, right? So that is a burden you've been carrying. With 43, that could be an important number to you. I like to put it into a single digit. So what I would either say, it's going to be a 7 or the 7th house, or a 1, which is the first house. The 7th house is all about you yourself, and the 7th house is all about you and your significant others and family and friends and the relationship with them, or business partners. It's like, this is you and this is your one-to-one relationships with the 7. So who do you have to be more open and flexible with, where you're not feeling the burden? It could be talking openly and truthfully here with the Swords energy. We'll take the truth, the communication part of Swords, and say, in order for some of this backstabbing or this burden to be lifted, there's going to have to be some truthful talks. I think with both. I think with you, pile 3, you need to be truthful with yourself, and you need to be truthful with whoever that one-to-one relationship is, where the burden or the backstabbing is coming from. That's where you need to be more flexible. Look, if you're feeling backstabbed or like you're carrying this burden that someone else has laid on you, flexibility is probably the last thing that you want to be, right? Look, we're human beings. But this reading, this energy from the wood dragons is coming through for a reason, pile 3, and you're in pile 3 for a reason. Maybe this didn't resonate or this doesn't. Maybe it's going to be this one message, all right? It'll be different for everyone, but I feel like this is the message that's coming through me right now, that it's taken a good hard long look at yourself and a good hard long look at the one-to-one relationship, and where can you be flexible in this, okay? Because there needs to be more flexibility in your life with these people. But I did mention you for a reason, so I've got to stick with that. All right, let's look at what specific event or situation in your life is going to call for more flexibility. We have Freedom Dragon. Oh, I love that. Oh, and how pretty. My favorites. You know, this dragon, this Freedom Dragon, looks like the, oh, is it purple fluorite, I think? Because it kind of has the green, the purple colors all in it. The aquas, right? All right. Anyway, I don't know. It just reminded me of that. So maybe that crystal would be important with you, along with the picture Jasper crystal, fluorite, purple fluorite. Okay. But what I want to say here, I also go to the book for freedom. So let's just take a quick peek in here and see what freedom has to say, because this is about a specific event or situation or energy. Freedom frequently appears when we have been kidding ourselves about a particular situation or scenario we find ourselves in. Wow. You may be feeling overwhelmed with responsibility or trapped by circumstance, or maybe it's simply a feeling of disquiet and anxiety. They want you to open your heart and you will see, she says, your inner truth of any situation. Don't be afraid of the truth. I'm going to say in all three piles, there's been a lot of truth talk. And I always want to say, too, it's not, I love Dr. Phil when he said, tell it like it is, but he didn't mean like a Karen or a Kevin, and I'm going to say that until the end of days. He meant it as in, be truthful with yourself and others, but in a kind and compassionate way, or at least not in a mean, nasty, or malicious way, okay? But the truth is liberating and healing, and it can set you free. Be brave, follow your inner guidance. Only you can set yourself free. Have flexibility. Only you can be flexible, right? Other people can't make you flexible. Let go and trust the process of life in the universe. Don't be afraid to relax, but don't be afraid to have fun. Don't be afraid to sit in the quiet. Okay, so what I feel here is there is a situation where the truth needs to be spoken, okay? It feels like maybe it's a situation or event or energy that you are always having to defend yourself, okay? And you have certain beliefs or whatever around this situation, but it needs to be approached with love and compassion, really, and maybe a bit of flexibility on your end, because that's what's going to set you all free in the end. And I feel that I'm saying you all because it's going to free you and it's going to free them. It'll be, I can't get into your individual family dramas or dynamics because I don't know. I can just tell you what I see and what I feel and what I'm hearing, right? And I kind of feel like for some of you, the freedom is you've freed yourself from that person. They may not change. They may never be flexible, but you've freed yourself from them. You no longer have to defend yourself to them, right? So those are the main messages. Let's get some more tarot here for further advice, further guidance, to confirm maybe or clarify what's on the table. Beautiful here for you, pile 3. I'm really liking this. And we're going to do some more tarot or oracle at the end as well. Temperance. There we go. See, temperance is balance. Temperance is calm. Temperance is tranquil and peaceful. That's what I think of when I think of the temperance card, right? It's having flow, having balance with people, not always having to defend yourself. Temperance is not carrying the burden of someone else. Temperance is being flexible, just like the water. She's pouring it back and forth from cup to cup. Balanced, that's also, I want to say, flexibility, okay? Seeing here that mirroring one another doesn't do you any good, or in the situation where there's other people involved and you're just not able to see eye to eye. It's being tempered, really. That's what I think I want to say. I think I've been trying to say that, but it's balance and harmony, okay? Queen of Pentacles. She popped out on one of the other piles too. That is being grounded. That is not being too much up in your head, right? The Queen of Pentacles is a smart woman, but she is grounded. She is practical. She's helpful. And she can be nurturing. And I want to say that the flexibility that maybe in each of these situations that they're asking for is like compassionate, caring, nurturing flexibility. Okay? And the Hierophant. Show, lead by example. I love these. Some of these cards come out in the other piles, but they take on a totally different context. Here, I still think of with teacher and student. Sometimes you're the teacher, sometimes you're the student. But here I feel like this is you with the flexibility, and you being the flexible one. You're teaching by example. You're showing others how you want to be treated. You're showing others how you will treat them. You are showing others what flexibility actually means. So I think you're the teacher in this case. But you'll learn something from it too, right? When Spirit, God, Source, Universe, or whomever it is for you, puts you in that role, you're always learning something as well, right? Okay. It is easy to love and accept the light side of yourself. It takes courage to acknowledge and love the darker side. So, like I said, some of these people may not change. It's calling on you to be the flexible one. But by doing that, you're going to learn to love all aspects or sides of yourself, and hopefully theirs as well. Okay, I'm going to just get this card here. This was the last one. It may have something to do with the reading or not, but it's society. Say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles will be the result, okay? But if you say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way, there's going to be excellent opportunities. Like I said here, new ways of doing things, new ideas, right? Breakthroughs even. So there will be success. I like this message for you, Pile 3. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in your next reading.